Hey everyone, welcome to the Get Your Life Together Girl podcast. I'm your host, Danielle Van. As a cognitive behavioral therapist, life coach, meditation teacher, and author, this is your go-to show for a powerful blueprint to personal growth and empowerment, where we're digging into the 5 master areas of your life: emotional, mental, physical, spiritual, and financial health and well-being. So if you're tired of feeling stuck and are ready to break through the barriers holding you back, whether it's trauma or you simply don't have the tools, you've found the right place. I'm combining Eastern and Western medicine with real, raw, and unapologetic conversation to shake up your mindset, elevate your life with new ideas while releasing the old and helping you take action towards the very best version of yourself. So let's get real. Today, we are diving into a life plan, a step-by-step movement to help you take what you want and what you need and how you want to feel and put it all into action, because you deserve to take on this new year with the fullest intent and experience ahead of you. So let's not waste another second. The Get Your Life Together Girl podcast starts right now. I can't believe we have hit 2025 and yet here we are. So welcome. I hope you have found a beautiful start to this new year. Over the last 3 weeks, this being the 4th, we've been talking about what we want, what we need, how we want to feel. And today we're looking at how do we put everything together? How do we clarify our vision? How do we set ourselves on a path toward achieving our most important goal, which is living a life that feels, together, that feels like it's comprehensive in a way, that has emotional balance, mental security, physical health and wealth, spiritual practices that are fulfilling, and of course, financial growth. And that's what our focus is going to be throughout all of 2025. So we're setting that off now. If it feels like there are changes even here in the podcast, there are. It's time to shake things up. It's time to stop holding ourselves back. And it's time to get raw, unapologetic, and into our lives. So if you've done the work over the last few weeks, you know what you want. You know what you need. You know what you want to feel and how you want to feel. So how do we bring this all together and create a life plan that works for you? We start by me asking you a very important question. And that question is, what legacy do you want to leave? What kind of life are you writing out through your actions? Your life, the things that you do, are truly a love story to the world. And so what kind of legacy are you leaving? What does success look like for you? What do you want people to feel after you're gone when they talk about the life that you lived, the things that you did? What legacy is there? What do you want to be remembered for and by? Important, because this allows you to have more awareness of what's important to you. So now, what do you want to leave behind? What experience do you want people to have? And if you can think about that, then let's step into creating this life that isn't necessarily going to always be easy in the creation, but it is the ultimate experience of the self. If you transform what you're hoping to create by simply taking action, then of course your life is going to change. That's the most important thing I want you to remember. If you're putting action into your life will change. A life plan, what we're creating today, is both a guide and a reminder of what you're wanting to create, what you're wanting to achieve. It helps you follow your dreams, align your actions with your goals, and meet yourself in your own objectives. We often get so busy thinking about what we want that we forget to truly create the action, the legacy part, right? So grab your pen and paper because we're going to create your North Star. But first, why should you have a life plan, right? Why should you have this thing that has a vision statement where you get to the nitty gritty of your goals, your calendar, your action steps, your personal template for your life? And the reason why is if you have something that keeps you accountable, you're far more likely to be accountable. It really is that simple, right? A life plan helps you make your dreams a reality. A plan gives you the confidence to take action, to overcome your fears. You have a clear, understandable way to get to obtainable goals because you have broken things down into actionable steps. If we just throw out goals and we don't give ourselves a step by step, you've heard me say this so many times, it's harder to get to the end. Of course, a life plan also helps you prioritize. Making this life plan helps you identify what your priorities are to begin with. It helps you focus on yourself. This way, you only have to focus on the things that move you into the direction of your dreams, whether that's weekly or monthly or yearly or by this next decade, right? If I break my life down into weekly planning sessions, I have a much more powerful tool to keep me on track instead of adjusting my course every time something new comes in. That is where we get so off course when we do not have a target and something new finds its way in. We're off with the races, off to something else, and we're not aligning in our small steps to get to our end results. Then there's the fact that a life plan helps you just make better decisions. Knowing your goals, having them in front of you helps you make decisions, period. If I know what I'm trying to obtain and I'm setting these milestones, these measurable check-ins along my journey, I can track what direction I'm headed in. And of course, a life plan is going to help keep you motivated. You can read what you need to do day to day to help you stay on track. And that's going to make you feel more empowered, giving you a greater sense of control over your destiny, helping you remember that, hey, I'm authentically in purpose right now. I am making my steps toward what I need, want, and how I want to feel. So let's break it down, right? It doesn't have to be complicated. All of that sounded really complicated, but it really isn't that deep. It really is just about basic planning. I'm going to give you the template. I'm going to give you the step-by-step to help you organize your thoughts and map out your path. You can do this instead of New Year's resolutions. I am not one who likes New Year's resolutions. The reason why is they're too fleeting. There's not enough behind them. This has true evidence, right? So I want you to start with creating your vision statement. So put that on the top. I want you to imagine your dream life. What does it look like? What does it feel like? Be so specific in the details. I want you to create this, mission statement for your life. We've talked about that before. It comes into play right now, where you set this daily visual reminder of what you're working towards, what's going to keep you motivated, who you want to look like as the person that you are. And I mean, look like by the energy that you emit, the feelings that you create, the legacy that is you. Picture yourself already there and write out your vision. If you need help, use these questions, right? So what do you see? What do you hear? Who are you with? How do you spend your days? How much money do you make? How are you making that money? What have you accomplished? Where do you live, right? What emotions and feelings are you feeling? What does your daily routine look like? Once you've written out your vision, think about what you need to achieve in order to make that vision come about. And so what we're going to do is make a list of steps, such as maybe going back to school or getting a new certificate, some new training, or doing something that helps you reach a certain income level. And I want you to be really realistic. And at the same time, I don't want you to hold yourself back from dreaming big. I just want you to be in a space where this is something that you could actually do, but not put yourself in a box. Once you've written it out, you can actually put it in a more visual form, whether that's on a social media board or whatever, or even just on a vision board. But what I want you to do is make sure you have this vision statement where you can go back to it, look at it, and really think of your life as a business operation, right? Of course, we don't want it to feel like that. But in this task, I want it to be something that you can look at and say, this is where I want to be in quarter 1 and quarter 2, 3, and 4. And here's how I'm going to get there. And once you do that, I want you to perform a personal assessment. A personal assessment is where we're looking at your achievements so far up until this point in your life, and then we're twisting it to use them now at the starting point of your plan. It's like taking stock of your success and failures. And by the way, many people hate doing this because they become really concerned that they haven't done enough. Stop the judgment. That's not what I want you to do. I want you to just look at the lessons that you've learned, the experiences that you're not willing to repeat, the things that have worked for you, identify your strengths and weaknesses. This is what a personal assessment is all about. And I want you to build an action plan that is using your proven strengths. When you're doing your personal assessment plan, look at all of the areas of your life, like relationships and personal growth, finances, emotional well-being, your community, your career, your physical health, right? Those fall into those 5 master areas of your life. And utilize your past experiences to better make decisions that are going to help you step into this timeline of your life, this movement of the self. So make this a very practical, measurable exercise by grading your life satisfaction in those areas. Like from 1 to 5, I think that my relationships are a 5. I'm really happy with them. They're strong. Everything's great. My personal growth, maybe a 3. My finances, let's say they're a 4. My emotional well-being, need to work on that a little bit. Maybe it's a 2. Maybe my community's not so great right now. That's a 1. My career's a 4. Whatever. You get what I'm saying. Go in and grade. And then I want you to prioritize your life. With your vision and your areas of growth, you know what you want, you know what you need, you know what you want to feel. You have to prioritize. At this stage, you don't need to get detailed about your goals or your deadlines, but I do want you to aim towards what's essential to really focus on. Or what do you need to let go of? What is in your career, your personal life, your family life that really needs some focus because your time is really precious? Where do you need to invest wisely? Or what do you need to let go of? You can go back into those areas and grade it in this way. I need to spend more time in my community. I need to spend a little bit more time in my career. I need to spend a little bit more time in my relationships. Whatever it is, grade it, because you need to know where you're going to invest. And then I want you to identify the values. We've looked at this all the way through. When you're analyzing your past, you can identify your values. We've decided what we know, what we want, and what we need. And these have been the motivating factors behind our movement, if you remember correctly. If we look at maybe I want a little bit more peace. That means I'm choosing to have far less responsibility. And there's an exchange for that. That could mean that you make less money. In order to have work-life balance, it may mean that you have to pull back. But if your experience in the past has said, that caused me a lot of drama, it caused a lot of tension, I don't want to do that, then you have to shift and identify where does your value system really kick in. What does your dream life look like? And how can you achieve it while aligning with the value in which you decided that you needed and wanted? We're pulling all of the work together and deciding, how do I move forward now? And then you probably have heard about SMART goals. They've become really popular again. They were actually, credited to an author recently. However, that's not who established the SMART goals. They came from George Dorian in 1981, where he was talking about proper goal management and objectives. And these SMART goals really work well when we're talking about creating a life plan. And I want to break them down for you because you can actually just write them down and use that as sort of your measure in creating your plan. So SMART stands for specific, measurable, obtainable, relevant, and time-bound. Let's go a little deeper in that. So specific. Each goal, each thing that you're wanting to create to help you to get to this life that you want needs to be specific. It needs to be broken down. It cannot be save money. It needs to be more like, I need to save $100,000 by XYZ, or I'm going to save $100 a month. That is a very specific, definable goal. Measurable. That's establishing how you will measure your goals. How do I look at the money that I have and measure its value? You see what I'm saying? How can I look at my progress? Attainable means to make sure that your goals are realistic and attainable, achievable, and that you have a way to get to the end result. And then there's relevant. The goal should be relevant to your long-term vision and compatible with those priorities and values that you've already put in place. And of course, there's time-bound, which you set a certain achievable deadline for the completion of your individual goal. Your action plan has to be in detail. It has to be a step-by-step process that helps you work towards your immediate goal, the now, the tomorrow, then the tomorrow after that, and the end result. And what that really means is you need to identify the daily actions. They're going to add up over time. They're going to help you build momentum and be able to get to what you want. You have to be able to schedule them on a calendar. For me, when I'm looking at the podcast, I create a bunch of episodes. We put them out and we know exactly where we're going to release them. And so we schedule them into the calendar. It's the same thing when you're trying to get to your goals. Your calendar can really be a commitment partner for you. And that may seem strange, but if you use it as accountability, as a direction pointer, you can actually see what you need. You can celebrate your milestones. You can reward yourself for your achievements. There's something tangible that you can check off. It's so important. And then I want you to remember that you must adjust as necessary. Your life plan is a tool, not something that is meant to run your life. And that's really important. So yes, it can be an accountability partner, but if you've taken on too much on the calendar and it begins to set you back emotionally or mentally, we have to adjust, and that's totally okay. Adjusting doesn't mean giving up. It means revision, changes, small adjustments that help you get to what you want and need. The right questions to ask yourself when you're making this plan is, what results do I want to achieve? What actions will achieve those results? How am I going to stay motivated? Because one day soon, in the middle of doing all of this, you're going to have a deflation of your motivation, and you're going to have some unforeseen challenge where you're going to have to adjust. And you can remember that you can trust yourself to come back. If you need to take a break, that's okay. But what can you do to help yourself stay motivated, stay in action, even when the unforeseen comes about. And lastly, how will you measure your progress? How do you really know that you have met a specific timeline, a certain experience, a certain feeling, other than just getting the obtainable at the end? Remember the old cliche that life is the journey and it's the experiences in it. It's not the end goal that we're trying to get to. We're trying to get to the experience of living. It's so important. When we make changes in our lives, we're not making changes in our lives to get to the end result. We're making changes in our lives to live the results. And that's what you're trying to do with this life plan. Think about, what's my self-assessment? What are my priorities? What are my values? What are my SMART goals? What's my action plan? What are my goals for my health and well-being, my relationships, my career, my finances, my community? Staying motivated through life's challenges are not easy, but it is possible. 2025 is going to serve you up with really beautiful things and also probably some experiences that you wish you wouldn't have had. And that's okay, because life changes, sometimes significantly over time. And life planning can help you put one foot in front of the other and continue to achieve. It doesn't have to be fast, but what it does have to be is well thought out, well planned, and in an experience that allows you to grow in your potential and unlock everything that you want and need. Your life is about feeling. It's about energy. And when you put that into your focus, it's the time that you get your life together. And you do deserve to have your life together. Thank you so much for listening to the Get Your Life Together Girl podcast. If you've enjoyed these tips for bettering your life, please follow me on social media if you're not already at Get Your Life Together Girl on Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, Insight Timer, Clapper, Threads, all of the places. You can also visit my website at getyourlifetogethergirl.com, where you'll find coaching, a blog, some downloads, courses. There's so much material there for you to learn from. I also want to encourage you to join my challenge that's going on right now. It's 365 questions this year to help you really expand your thinking, expand your mind, having a deeper inner conversation and intimate dance with the self. You can find those questions daily on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. So be sure to watch for those. I can't thank you enough for being such a valuable part of this community. Until next time, be kind to yourself and others.